Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the weekly market analysis. So, I would like to start this project, and on a weekly basis, I will be analyzing the most important assets of the world in my point of view. Okay, so I would like to starting it covering the Nasdaq 100. You guys can see here that prices very recently break through this important primary trend support here in such a way that it flips to resistance right now, and it has broken through this secondary trend support as well, so it flips to resistance as well. Okay, and right now prices are testing both of them. Okay, around 25,600 points right here. At the same time, we have in parallel both the stochastic oscillator and the relative strength index, indicating some kind of overbuying here. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to tell you that probabilities here that prices will be decreasing after reaching this region substantial increases. Okay, so if you want to take some profits, this is the moment of doing so. If prices breaks through and go up to 26,256 points, you have another take profits position as well. If it bounced off, reflecting back down to 22,976 points, you have the strong 200 days moving average support. Okay, if it prices breakthrough, and if it happens that it continues to decrease, reaching the 20,335 points here, you have the Fibonacci retracement support as well. So this will be an interesting entry point for the European stock market. Okay, I would like to tell you guys that if you have any question, do not hesitate to reach out to me. I'm just starting this project. Okay, so it's a pilot. All right, and actually those elements with Jonas Faga Jr. Jonas, my friend, thank you very much for everything you have teached me. If I'm talking some shit here, this is not the Jonas' fault. It's my fault as a student. But I'm practicing this and trying to understand everything related to the technical analysis during the last 7 years, and I have accomplished a lot of success. And this is the reason why I would like to share those elements with you. Okay, guys? Do not hesitate if you want to understand my framework, how I have built those charts. Just write me. It will really be a pleasure to help you. Okay. So, take your screenshots here as I move over to the analysis of the euro dollar. Okay. Let's talk about forex euro dollar. As you guys can see, we have the prices here reaching the $1.17 resistance, corresponding to this primary trend resistance here. At the same time that you have a clear indication of overbuying here in the relative strength index and in the stochastic oscillator index as well. If it happens that prices breaks through and reach the $1.21 position, You have both the Fibonacci retracement resistance combined with the secondary trend resistance as well. So you have a second take profits position here. So guys, if you have some euros, it's time to sell it to buy some dollars, okay? If prices bounced off, reflecting back down to $1.14, maybe to be the timing to buy some euros, rebuy some euros, because you have here this 200 days moving average support, and if it breaks through, you have a strong support combining here Fibonacci retracement support, primary trend support, secondary trend support around $1.11. So I let you some seconds so you can take your screenshots. Okay, I would like to move forward to the analysis of gold. So recently prices just broken through this support and is testing the $4,196 position. You have the up to 20% 200 days moving average here. You have the 200 days moving average here, and the up 20% 200 days moving average here as well. It's an important resistance, but it's the same the only resistance that we have here. If you guys give it a look in the stochastic oscillator and in the relative strength index here, there's no indication of overbuying, so I would say let's wait a little bit before taking a decision. Okay, if prices continues to increase and goes up to $4,350, we have a Fibonacci retracement resistance here, so it's time to take profits. Okay, if it bounced off, reflecting back down to $3,767, you guys will have an important support here corresponding to the primary trend. Okay, just before moving forward with the analysis, I will be extending right this secondary trend support. So if prices break through here, you have another strong support point combining your primary trend, secondary trend support here, and the 200 days moving average corresponding to the $3,471 point. Okay guys, is that clear for you? So I let you some seconds so you can take your screenshots, and I move forward to the analysis of Bitcoin. Okay, so when it comes to Bitcoin, we can see that prices recently broken through this resistance, so it flipped it to support, resistance, so it flipped to resistance right now, and the prices are testing this primary trend support around $89,649. I would say that it's better to wait a little bit before buying some Bitcoins, because it's the only indications that I have in this chart that prices will going up. As you can see, both relative strength index and the stochastic oscillator here are not indicating overselling. And let's wait a little bit. If prices decreases down to $84,000, I would say this is an interesting, would be an interesting entry point, because you have it down to 20% 200 days moving average here. and if it breaks through, you have this the Fibonacci retracement support around $78,000. Okay, if it bounced off, reflecting back up to $97,000, it's clearly the take profits position for the Bitcoin. And if it breaks through, you have a second take profits position around $104,000. Okay, I let you guys some seconds so you can take your screenshots. Now we'll be saving this chart. I'm thirsty. And I continue my analysis here with the SSA Composite, which is the Chinese stock market, one of the most important of the world, by the way. So here we have seen that prices recently broken through this important support here. So it flipped it to resistance right now, and it's retesting this resistance, but I will not say that this is a take profits point because it is the only indication that we have for selling. Okay, so let's wait a little bit. If prices go up to 4,338 points, so it's clearly a take profits position because you have the up 20% 200 days moving average here. If it reflects back down to 3,865 points, you have your Fibonacci retracement support combined with this secondary trend support here as well. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if prices continues to break through, you have this second huge support position combining both the 200 days moving average with the secondary trend support here around 3,627 points as well. Okay, I'll let you some secs to take a shot as I move forward to the analysis of the yen. Oh, yen. The most underrated currency in the world at this moment, right? So for the yen, guys, we can see that prices recently bounced off this important resistance here around $157 and reflect down to $150 right now, $55 right now. If it happens that it continues to decrease, you have an important support around $149 corresponding to the 200 days moving average here. If prices break through, you have another important resistance here around $143 corresponding to the Fibonacci retracement, right? If prices goes up and breaks through this important resistance here, it flips to support and you have a second take profits point here around $179. Okay, let you some secs so you can take your shots. And I move forward to the analysis of the Brent crude future contracts. For the Brent, so we are right now, you can see that prices bounced off the moving 200 days moving average resistance beginning of October. And right now it's testing an important support here around $62 a barrel, combining both the Fibonacci retracement support with this secondary trend support here around the $62 a barrel. If it breaks through, you have another important support here around the $6 a barrel. Okay, if it reflects back up to $60-$80. You have an important resistance corresponding to the 200 days moving average here. And if it breaks through, you have this position here around $73 a barrel, which is really interesting, corresponding to the primary trend resistance. Okay, let you guys some seconds to take a shot as I move forward with the analysis of our assets. I would like to talk about the pound sterling. We have interesting phenomena happening here. You guys can see that price has broken through this resistance in the beginning of November, and right now it's retesting the same resistance, which is really strong because you have at the same time the 200 days moving average with the primary trend support, the primary trend resistance combined with the secondary trend resistance as well. And in parallel, you have relative strength index with the stochastic oscillator in a clearly overbuying region, right? So I would say that probabilities here that prices will be going down is great at this moment, so it's time to sell some pounds sterling and to buy some dollars. The same for euro, as you can see. I will not be analyzing the dollar index here, but probably we should have some indication of buy entry right there. Okay, if it happens that prices break through this resistance, we have another important take profits point here around $1.40, corresponding to this, to the primary trend support and the secondary trend support. If it bounced off, reflecting back down to $1.26, you clearly have an indication of purchase here, and if it breaks through, you have an important entry point as well around $1.19. Okay, I'd like you some seconds to take your shots as I move forward to the analysis of the European stock market. For Europe, another, yes, it's interesting what is happening. We can see that prices are testing an important resistance, combining both Fibonacci retracement and the secondary trend resistance around 4,776. Revolutionary number here. And if it breaks through, you have, so just before I move forward, so prices are testing this resistance at the same time that stochastic oscillator and the relative strength index here indicates some kind of overbuying. I would say it's time to take profits and to sell your positions or some positions in your European stock markets to try another assets. Maybe it's time to buy some dollars. Yeah. If it breaks through, you have another second take profits point here, really important, around 6,500 points. And if it bounced off, reflecting back down to $4,400 here, you have this secondary trend support combined with the moving 200 days moving average support as well. If prices break through the support, you have another important one here corresponding to the primary trend around 4,756 points. Okay, so I let you some seconds to take your screenshots, and I would like to thank you to follow me in this first weekly market analysis video, and I wish everybody a really nice weekend. See you guys.